Once upon a time in the ancient world, a great leader named Moses stood before the Israelites as they prepared to enter the Promised Land. This moment, captured in the Torah portion known as Eikev, happened over 3,000 years ago, during the year 2488 from creation, 1273 BCE. Moses, fully aware that he wouldn't accompany the people into their new home, spoke with deep urgency and care, imparting wisdom that would guide them for generations. Eikev is not just a historical account, it's a treasure trove of Jewish spiritual thought. In his address, Moses emphasized the importance of faith, not a mere belief, but an ongoing, dynamic relationship with the divine. He warned the people to remember the source of their blessings, especially during prosperous times when it is easy to forget. Moses also explained that obedience to God's commandments is a choice, not blind submission. The consequences for following or disregarding these divine laws stem from the nature of their relationship with God, shedding light on the moral fabric of life. Furthermore, Eikev reveals the idea of divine providence. It teaches that God is actively involved in the lives of individuals, reassuring the people that they are never alone in their struggles or triumphs. This timeless wisdom continues to resonate today, offering insights on ethics, environmental stewardship, and the balance between material gains and spiritual fulfillment. Each generation finds new meanings in Eikev, ensuring its teachings remain relevant. As we explore this rich tradition, we connect with a profound spiritual journey that has spanned millennia, reminding us that the quest for meaning, purpose, and connection endures through all of life's changes. Once upon a time, in the heart of the desert, the people of Israel journeyed under the guidance of Moses. As they wandered, they experienced extraordinary miracles, a daily gift of manna from heaven and water flowing from a rock. These moments filled their hearts with faith, reminding them of God's steadfast presence and love, a love that went hand in hand with their obedience to divine commandments. Moses stood before them, sharing a vital message from the Parashat Eikev. He urged the Israelites to cherish their faith, not as a simple belief, but as a profound trust in God's care. He asked them to walk in God's ways, to love Him fully, and to serve with all their hearts. Deuteronomy 10:12. This call to action encouraged them to live out their faith with dedication and determination. Yet, Moses also cautioned about the dangers of forgetting during times of prosperity. He reminded them that as they entered the lush land of Israel, they must not lose sight of the source of their blessings. He emphasized the importance of historical memory, remembering the exodus from Egypt and their long desert journey. Remembering helped shape their identity and informed their actions. In this portion, Moses shared another profound lesson. Being God's chosen people meant embracing responsibility, not privilege. The Israelites were called to be a light unto the nations, embodying ethical principles and divine attributes. Ultimately, Moses urged them to cleave unto Him, Deuteronomy 11:22, a call to live in constant awareness of God's presence. The teachings of Eikev resonate through time, reminding us of faith's power, the necessity of obedience, and the transformative nature of love, a guiding light for all seeking connection and meaning in their lives. In Parashat Eikev, the Torah shares a beautiful promise of blessings from God to the Israelites. Imagine the joy of a growing family with the promise of the fruit of your womb, which symbolizes fertility and happiness in parenthood. The Israelites were also promised agricultural abundance, corn, wine, and oil, essential foods that provide both nourishment and joy. Importantly, these blessings are tied to the Promised Land, reminding the Israelites of their special connection to this land. Yet, with these wonderful gifts comes a warning. During times of abundance, it's easy to forget God. In essence, the message of Parashat Eikev is that blessings encompass both material and spiritual well-being. In Parashat Eikev, The Torah reminds us of profound wisdom regarding prosperity and spirituality. As it promises blessings for those who follow God's commandments, it also warns about the spiritual dangers that come with abundance. This passage highlights key dangers associated with wealth. First, there's forgetfulness, the risk of losing connection with our spiritual roots. Second, pride can creep in. Feeling successful might inflate our self-importance. The Talmud, Parashat Eikev, underscores this challenge, stating that remaining faithful during abundance can be more difficult than in hardship. Rabbi Israel Baal Shem Tov humorously pointed out that humility isn't listed among the commandments because it shouldn't become a point of pride. True humility requires ongoing self-reflection and alignment with God's will. Biblical prophets like Hosea echo this warning, lamenting how satisfaction can lead to pride and disconnection from the divine. Prosperity can create an illusion of control, distracting us from spiritual pursuits and lessening our need for faith. However, the Torah doesn't reject material blessings. It encourages using them as tools for good. Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch taught that our blessings should serve God and others, while the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, emphasized making the material world a space for spirituality. To cultivate a balanced life, we can practice gratitude, mindfulness, and charity. By actively engaging with our blessings and remaining spiritually aware, we transform our abundance into a source of growth and positive action. In the ancient desert, the Israelites wandered for 40 years, guided by a promise and a hope. Amid their hardships, they faced hunger. Yet every day, they received a miraculous gift: manna. This wasn't just food. It was meant to teach them deep lessons about life and faith. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in the Talmud explains that the daily provision of manna turned hearts toward God each day, fostering a relationship grounded in trust and gratitude. Each morning, they would rise, gather their share, and acknowledge that all sustenance comes from above. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, highlighted this ongoing dependency, reminding them that even when they would work the land, it was ultimately God who provided. Jewish thinkers like Nachmanides, Ramban, and Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi explored how everyday tasks might obscure this divine connection. Yet the manna was distinct. Its miraculous nature was an unmistakable reminder of God's presence in their lives. The story of the manna serves as a metaphor for the Torah, which provides spiritual nourishment. Just as the manna could taste like anything the Israelites desired, the Torah meets the unique needs of every soul. Through mindful practices like daily gratitude and spiritual study, we can bring the essence of the manna into our lives today, transforming simple acts into profound connections with the divine. In this way, each day offers us the chance to gather our own manna, nurturing both body and spirit, deepening our understanding of divine providence. Moses passionately instructs the people to remember their past experiences, specifically, the miracles God performed during their time in the wilderness. Rabbi Bechai, a 13th century scholar, explains that true remembrance is not just recalling facts. It's about understanding and internalizing lessons from the past, helping us grow in the present. The Sfat Emet, a 19th century Hasidic master, warns that forgetting means losing sight of the divine source of our blessings, which can lead to moral decline. In Judaism, memory serves various essential roles. It maintains our identity, instructs us morally, cultivates gratitude, ensures continuity of traditions, and inspires hope for the future. Yet, why do we need reminders? Even monumental events, like the Exodus, can fade without reinforcement. Maimonides believed that remembering strengthens our commitment to Torah values, while Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik emphasized making the past relevant today. The Parashah warns of the dangers of forgetfulness during times of prosperity. By practicing regular Torah study, mindful gratitude, and participating in rituals, we can keep spiritual truths alive. In this way, the lessons from Eikev encourage us to engage actively with our past, ensuring that our connection to heritage and the divine remains strong. In Parashat Eikev, we revisit a painful chapter in Israel's early history, the sin of the golden calf. This event, originally detailed in Exodus, finds a powerful retelling through Moses in Deuteronomy. Moses recalls a moment of deep despair and intense prayer, as he fasted for 40 days and nights, pleading with God to forgive the people for their serious transgression. The golden calf was no minor mistake. It provoked God's anger to the point that he considered destroying the people. Yet, through Moses' dedication, we see the immense power of intercession. His prayers were so compelling that they changed God's mind, showcasing the divine willingness to forgive even the gravest of sins. This narrative is enriched by a midrash that compares Moses' plea to a laborer arguing with a king. Rabbi Soloveitchik later emphasizes that true repentance involves not just regret, but a profound transformation in one's relationship with God. The lessons from Moses' experience extend beyond ancient times. They remind us that sincere repentance can lead to forgiveness, and that prayer can hold the power to change outcomes. In essence, the golden calf incident teaches us about mercy, the importance of moral advocacy, and the hope that exists in seeking reconciliation, no matter how serious our mistakes. Through Moses' example, we learn that everyone has the opportunity for renewal. In Parashat Eikev, the land of Israel is portrayed as a unique spiritual ecosystem, distinct from the agricultural landscape of Egypt. Deuteronomy 11:10-12 describes how Israel's prosperity relies on heavenly rain, unlike Egypt, where crops thrive through the predictable flooding of the Nile. This difference symbolizes a deeper lesson about faith and dependence on God's blessings. Chassidic masters, including Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi, interpret this passage to reveal two types of souls. The irrigated field represents the diligent scholar, whose efforts yield abundant results. In contrast, the rain-nourished field exemplifies the simple Jew, who humbly awaits God's blessings. Although the irrigated field may produce more, the rain-nourished field reflects greater humility and trust in the divine. The Talmud notes that living in a land dependent on rain fosters spiritual growth, prompting prayer and self-reflection. God's direct care over the land of Israel means that people must uphold higher spiritual and ethical standards, recognizing their unique role in this sacred space. The varied terrain of Israel, its hills and valleys, symbolizes life's ups and downs. Just as the land requires diverse agricultural practices, our spiritual journeys involve challenges and triumphs. Overall, Parashat Eikev teaches that the land of Israel is more than soil and stone. It is a place intimately connected to divine providence. This connection inspires gratitude, environmental stewardship, and spiritual readiness in our lives. The lessons from this land invite us to recognize the divine in our surroundings and to cultivate our relationship with God, whether we are in Israel or afar. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a kind-hearted man named Eli. He was known for his generosity and compassion, inspired by a single verse from the Torah, to walk in all his ways and to cleave unto him. Deuteronomy 11:22. One day, while studying the Talmud, he discovered an important insight. Just as God is merciful, gracious, and righteous, so should we strive to be. Sotah 14a. This idea, known as imitatio Dei, or imitation of God, became Eli's guiding light. He realized that to walk in God's ways meant to help others in practical ways. Inspired, he began to act. In his daily life, Eli made it a point to clothe the naked, just as God clothed Adam and Eve. Genesis 3:21. He visited the sick, comforted mourners, and even buried those who had passed. Deuteronomy 34:6. With each act of kindness, he felt closer to God, as Maimonides taught that cultivating compassion brings us closer to the divine. Eli also understood the importance of intention. He taught his children to emulate these qualities, ensuring that kindness would carry on in their hearts. Through his efforts, Eli brought more godliness into the world, fulfilling the beautiful commandment to walk in God's ways and creating a community filled with love and compassion. In the heart of a bustling modern city, a young woman named Sarah felt lost amid the rapid pace of her life. She had a stable job, a comfortable apartment, and friends around her. Yet something was missing. One day, Sarah stumbled upon an ancient text called Parashat Eikev, which was delivered over 3,000 years ago. Its themes resonated with her, offering simple yet profound messages applicable to her busy life. Inspired by Moses' words, Sarah started practicing gratitude. Each evening, she wrote 3 things she was thankful for in a small journal, savoring each blessing. As she embraced mindfulness, she learned to appreciate her food and where it came from, making her meals feel more fulfilling. The parashah also emphasized ethical responsibility. Motivated by Eikev, Sarah began volunteering at a local charity, helping those less fortunate. She became aware of the impact of her purchases, opting for local and sustainable options. As she absorbed these teachings, Sarah understood the importance of education. She found joy in sharing cultural stories and traditions with her younger siblings, ensuring that the wisdom of their heritage was not lost. In a world driven by material success, Sarah recognized the need for balance between her spiritual and material pursuits. She established a regular meditation practice to help clarify her priorities and align her actions with her values. Through her journey, Sarah realized that the lessons from Parashat Eikev were not just ancient words, but a guiding light in her life. With gratitude, compassion, and a sense of global responsibility, she began to navigate the complexities of modern existence, finding deeper meaning and fulfillment. As she walked her path, she carried the timeless wisdom of Eikev with her, reminding herself that true happiness lies in connection, kindness, and mindfulness.